Hello everyone, I'm Joe McDonald.
And I'm Tamara Henry.
It's been a big year for Metro, and we've got the headlines you'll want to hear about.
So take a ride with us on this exciting edition of Metro Motion.
Topping our show is an update on Metro's Crenshaw LAX project, the new 8.5-mile light rail line that will connect the Expo and the Green Lines. Most recently, construction work on Century Boulevard made it necessary to close down one of the main entrances to LAX for a period of 57 hours. The closure, nicknamed Century Crunch, had the potential for a traffic nightmare, but it turned out to be a sweet dream. With construction progressing as expected, the line is currently scheduled to open in 2019. Thanks to everyone for their help in making this major street closure a smooth success.
You know, one of the things that I love most about Metro's expanding rail system?
What's that?
It grants more transit access to new areas of Los Angeles County.
You mean like how the new Crenshaw line will take passengers through the Crenshaw district?
Yes, that area is rich in Los Angeles history and is the epicenter of LA's African American culture, especially Leimert Park.
Really? I wasn't aware of that.
It's true. There is so much to see and do in that area that we teamed up two of our reporters, Greg Goldner and Jackie Tranquita, to show our viewers what they've been missing.
Thanks so much, Joe and Tamara. Jackie and I are out here, the heart of Leimert Park, right off Crenshaw Boulevard. This place is rich and vibrant with culture and history. They've got their monthly art walk going on. And what do you got coming up?
Actually, October 18th is something that everyone in this neighborhood looks forward to, but also greater Los Angeles. It's the Taste of Soul, and that's where we sort of just showcase the best that this neighborhood has to offer, culinarily speaking.
So good, so you better wear your stretchy pants for that. But before we get into that, I caught up with several folks to give you an inside look and show you what exactly Leimert Park is all about. Established in the late 1920s by Walter Leimert, Leimert Park was built on the concept of creating a sense of culture and community. And nearly 90 years later, this idea is more evident than ever as Leimert Park has solidified itself as the center of black culture in Los Angeles. We are out here in the heart of Leimert Park with the Leimert Park poet. What a tagline. Ms. Rhonda Mitchell. Rhonda, thanks so much for joining us.
It's nice to be here.
Tell me about the Leimert Park poet.
I am a Leimert Park poet. I came of age as a writer at the Nancy Writers Workshop over at the World Stage, and I met the most amazing group of writers, spoken word artists, activists.
And you've spent a great deal of years here in Leimert Park. Talk to me about what Leimert Park was back in the day.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
Leimert Park was a place where you came to be authentic. It was a place where there was dance, there was drums, there was music, there was Phillips Barbecue around the corner. And if you don't think Phillips Barbecue is art, you've never eaten Phillips Barbecue.
You're preaching it right now. I love some good barbecue. Oh man.
It was a place where you can find books, you can find reference materials, you can find art, clothing. It was a place that affirmed it affirmed you. But right now, I see Leimert Park poised for something wonderful. I know the art walk happens here once a month. We have a Sunday drum circle once a month. The World Stage is still going strong. You want to hear poetry, spoken word? Hit the World Stage up on a Wednesday night. So you'll definitely hear something.
Is it fair to say that if Leimert Park was a woman, she'd be pretty strong-willed?
Oh yeah, and fine.
From the historian, aka the Leimert Park poet, to a woman who has decided to help shape the future of business in Leimert Park. I got a chance to catch up with gallery owner Michelle Papillon, who could have opened her gallery anywhere in the world, but chose right here in Leimert Park. Now, tell me about Papillon. It's an art gallery.
Contemporary art gallery right here in the historic Leimert Park.
Yeah. And how did you pick Leimert Park? I mean, this place is vibrant now. It hasn't always been that way, but...
I picked it for a number of reasons. It has lots of great history. You know, Walter Leimert designed this beautiful neighborhood. These buildings were designed by Howard Hughes. So it has a a prehistory back to LA when Los Angeles hosted the Olympics back in the 1930s. This was the original Olympian Village, which is why everything was so beautifully planned out.
Wow.
And then to bring it up to a little bit more current history, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, Black artists in Los Angeles came here and really made this one of the most special places in LA. And that legacy has continued to today. And I think what I represent is the next generation of that rich history.
As Michelle and I chatted about the incredible history of this place and what drew her to open her business in Leimert Park, one question was weighing on my mind for a visionary like Michelle. 5 years from now, where are we at with Leimert Park?
We're at one of the most interesting, culturally, artistic, relevant neighborhoods in Los Angeles. I think there'll be other really cool, fresh, young, perspective entrepreneurs who will come and open up businesses here. I think the Metro will be here, so they will be opened up to other parts of the city that we never had before, and I think you'll just see a new, bubbling art community that's thriving.
This neighborhood has some amazing history, great story, and really cool gallery.
Truly incredible, but you know what? I hope you got your stretchy pants on. You're about to chow down, aren't you?
It is chow time. Let's take a little sneak peek at the Taste of Soul.
Good music, good times, and always good food. That's what the Taste of Soul has been serving up for nearly a decade.
Taste of Soul is a family festival, but it's really a creative expression of our community. It's the best that we have.
What started with 50 vendors has grown to more than 200, showcasing all that this neighborhood has to offer, from food to wares to workshops, and the crowd has followed.
What you feel and what you see when you come is really an expression of love. I mean, this community is showing the kind of neighborly love that we have for each other that exists, that people don't usually see. It's a wonderful event, and I'm really, really pleased that the community has really received it so well, because the spirit of it is what's really important. The spirit of giving, sharing, enjoying each other and the community in which we live is what Taste of Soul is really all about.
But it all comes together on Crenshaw Boulevard for one glorious October feast. So what exactly can you sink your teeth into? I'll show ya. From Louisiana to LA, this neighborhood staple is serving up Creole delights.
With me is Ryan Legault, third generation owner here at Harold and Bells.
That's right, 3 generations since 1969. Been doing our thing in Jefferson Park here for 45 years now.
That means 45 years to perfect Grandpa Harold and Grandma Belle's recipes like fried crawfish, seafood etouffee, and Enola mainstay, gumbo.
It's like 1,000 flavors hit you at once.
And when food is this finger-licking good, you know it's the real deal, with Mom in the kitchen cooking up the family secrets. And it's all up for grabs and nibbles at the Taste of Soul.
So you get to come here and taste the best that Crenshaw has to offer.
The best of what the community has to offer. So not just Creole food like what we do, but there's soul food, there's barbecue, there's something for everyone out there. There's entertainment, there's stuff for the kids out there. So it's really just a chance for everyone to get out there and have a good time.
Up next, right off Jefferson Boulevard sits a tiny turquoise building serving up a whole lot of flavor. We slide up to the diner counter at Mel's Fish Shack.
The name says it all. This place knows how to do fish.
From sole to red snapper, the catch of the day will melt in your mouth. And you can wash it all back with a hush puppy. Yum. But thankfully, my stomach is bottomless because everyone's been telling me about Chef Marilyn's.
There's a line out the door every day.
Every day, thank God.
Tell me what you're doing and how you're doing it.
I cook with love. I enjoy feeding people. I enjoy making people happy. And I have the community that helps me.
And Chef gives right back, serving up a rotating selection of entrees for just 99 cents. The cafeteria-style eatery has been doing soul food and so much more for 25 years. I load up my plate with all the favorites, Mac and cheese, cornbread, greens, and smothered chicken.
Take this one to go, but it's not going to go very far.
A delicious day it certainly was. Get your taste buds on all of this goodness on October 18th or visit tasteofsoulLA.org for cookbooks and more info.
This place is truly incredible, and you know what, Jackie? This is my jam.
I love this song. And keep in mind, as Metro continues to expand, there's actually going to be a Crenshaw LAX sign just about a half a block away.
I can't stop moving. All right, thanks for hanging out with us. Back to you guys.
Metro recently played the role of matchmaker, not for romance, but rather for business. In conjunction with the Crenshaw LAX Community Leadership Council, Metro held a business matchmaking summit in an effort to promote and enhance small businesses along the project alignment. The primary goal of the summit was to connect small and minority-owned businesses with prime contractors so that they could learn about and take advantage of upcoming business opportunities.
It's fall once again, and that means football. For the last 2 seasons, Metro and USC Trojan Football have formed a dream team as the Expo line carried thousands of fans to home games at the LA Coliseum. Well, the boys are back for Season 3, and so is enhanced game day service, with more Expo line trains running 3 hours before game time and 1 hour after game end. And by the way, Bruin fans, getting to UCLA games in Pasadena is also a snap. Take the goal line to Memorial Park Station and catch the free shuttle to the Rose Bowl. So skip the traffic and parking headaches. Use the trip planner at metro.net and go Metro to the games.
Joe, how much time would you say you spend driving in traffic every week?
To be honest, I try not to think about it, but it's far more time than I'd like it to be.
I hear you. And that's why I use transit whenever possible. You'd be surprised how much time you can get back for yourself when you don't have to bother with driving.
I believe it, especially on those long commutes. Whenever I'm able to, I like to catch up on my reading.
Oh, I do that too.
It kind of makes you wonder what other people are doing, doesn't it?
You know, it does. So let's ask the question, what do you do on your way to work?
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Suskin, and I'm a bicycle commuter and a professional poet. I think riding a bike in LA works great. My friends are all thinking that I'm a crazy person for riding my bike around with all this stuff on it and that it's dangerous, but I think it's easy. It's really nice for me. You know, it's kind of a better way for me to get around in the city and see things and do things instead of just constantly being, you know, tucked away in my car. It's nice for me to just have that freedom here. I'm glad I can do it.
Hi, I'm Ed Begley Jr., and I'm a multimodal Metro commuter. My schedule doesn't allow me to carpool all the time, so what I have to do is be flexible and take the bus, take my bike, take the train to get from point A to point B, and that helps a lot. A lot of people wonder why I ride my bike or take public transportation, drive my electric car. I grew up in smoggy LA, and all these things that we did made the LA air a lot cleaner. We have 4 times the cars in LA from 1970, yet a fraction of the smog. So we're on the right track.
Hi, my name's Stan Paul, and I ride in a van pool from Riverside to UCLA every day, and I've been doing that for 13 years. In the afternoons, the town of Los Angeles comes alive, and I've been taking photos of that along the I-10 and Highway 60 for the past 13 years. There's something new every day. The light is different, could be a different time of the year. The buildings look different, and there's always something interesting coming up on the freeway. It may surprise you, and so I try to capture that when I can.
I find that riding a bicycle is just a better way to interact with the city. As I've lived here for a year, I've found that I just pick up all the details of what's around me, and I know my way around better, and the routes I take are familiar to me now in a way that it's not like that when you're in a car. You're kind of closed in and you can't really like hear this sound or, you know, smell that smell from that bakery or see that person doing that thing they do every single Sunday. So it's sort of a more intimate way to interact with the city, and it's a nice way to go to work to write poems, because I feel that while I'm riding, I'm already sort of collecting details and inspiration for poetry.
You have to be flexible in your modes of transportation around spread out LA. You know, no transit system in the world takes more people, more miles than LA Metro. We have a great amount of distance from Trancas. Take people all the way to Pomona. You take them down to Long Beach. You take them up to Santa Clarita. It's a big area. Planning is very important. What I do is, you know, I plan my trip with plenty of wiggle room, plenty of extra time, and then I plan to have some work to do on the train, like learning lines or fun stuff like doing the crossword.
In the afternoons, I'm not driving, I'm a passenger, so I just sit up front and I have an opportunity to, in addition to photography, maybe get some work done on my cell phone, read, but mostly I'm taking pictures if I can, if it's a good day for it. The advantages to riding on a van pool: one, you're not driving your own car. Number two, you're taking 11 cars off the road, and I'd like to see a lot more of that because the volume is thick out there in Los Angeles. So if everyone could also take 11 cars off the road, that'd be fantastic.
I think ride sharing is important because, first of all, there is a time in the day where you're stuck in your car by yourself, and it's nice to spend that time with people and also save on gas and, you know, make less traffic and keep the air clean, and I mean the list goes on and on. To ride share seems like sort of it wouldn't be very smart to not do that.
Sharing the ride is so important. We have millions of people in LA. If every single person was one person, one car, we'd have a total mess. But with the LA Metro, you can share the ride. You can share the ride in many different ways. Multimodal helps, you know, bike to the bus, bike to the train, many different ways to do it. Walking is great. Pedestrian-friendly areas are very important. But I take Metro many times a week. I have a very well-worn Metro car, and I think it's important to share the ride.
I'm Jacqueline Suskin, and I share the ride.
I'm Stan Paul, and I share the ride.
I'm Ed Begley Jr., and I share the ride.
So, as the message goes, even if you're not sharing the ride regularly, give it a try the week of October 6th through 10th. You might find it a great way to change your life for the better.
One of the challenges to taking transit is simply getting to the bus or train. Here's a simple solution: consider walking. Not only is it a zero-emission method of getting around, but studies have shown that regular low-impact exercise has many health benefits, both physical and psychological. A new Stanford study even aims to prove that walking can increase a person's creative and innovative thinking. So before you get on the train, whip out the laptop, and start typing that Oscar-winning screenplay, take a stroll to the station and get those creative juices flowing.
It's that time of year again, Latino Heritage Month LA. The celebration runs from September 15th to October 15th, and as the name suggests, honors LA's diverse Latino community through a wide array of exciting events and activities. Debuting this year is the Latino Heritage Month Metro Crawl, a month-long program granting Metro patrons with a valid tap card special discounts at various Latino businesses all throughout the county. For details on participating businesses and a complete schedule of events, visit latinoheritage.la.
Metro has a new board chair, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti. His term began on July 1st of this year and will continue until June of next year, when the seat will rotate to another board member. Recently, we had an opportunity to speak with the new board chair and discuss his plans and goals for the upcoming year.
So you recently took over as Metro board chair. Can you share some of your vision for Metro in the coming year?
Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited to be chair of the Los Angeles County MTA, or Metro as we know it. You know, this is the most dynamically moving public transportation agency in the country, the largest public transportation construction program anywhere in the United States, and one of the biggest in the world. My vision, though, for this agency is to really lead not just for my city that I'm the mayor of, but for the region, to bring together the needs of the north part of Los Angeles County, of our San Gabriel Valley, gateway cities, our beach communities, and to be a good listener so that I can help lead for all of them in a few areas. One, obviously keep up the momentum of building out kind of our dream transportation system. So the second piece is make sure we still get funding, whether it's at the national level and to leverage some of the relationships I have, whether it's with our president or with our great Secretary of Transportation, or whether it's at the state level in Sacramento, to make sure that LAMTA is always on people's minds as the go-to place. And then third, you know, that gets into what I want to look at, which is to make MTA an innovative force. You know, we should look at traffic as our problem, not just running a transportation system, but traffic broadly. Because I think all of us out there, you know, everybody who's watching this right now, our biggest headache still is traffic. It keeps us from our families. It keeps us away from, you know, our communities. It keeps us, you know, away from our work and productivity. So what can we do to transform this agency into thinking not just maintaining the system that we have, building out the future system, but also thinking creatively about being at the tip of the spear on combating traffic across this county. And so those three things, as well as finally accountability, making sure that whatever taxpayer dollars we do have, we're spending them the most carefully, the most transparently, and the most innovatively that we can.
And how do all of these factors tie into your overall vision for the city, for Los Angeles?
Los Angeles really should be the most creative spot on the face of the earth. We have the most diverse population, 220 languages, 115 countries of origins, 39 countries with the largest population outside their home country. We're the gateway to Asia for Latin America and vice versa, arguably the eastern capital of the Pacific Rim and the northern capital of Latin America, and definitely the western capital of the U.S. So for me, I want to see Los Angeles overall be a place that can compete, that has a regional approach, so we're not cities pitted against each other, has a great port, great airport, great public transit system, can go after the big things, whether that's the large investments that are coming now from East Asia that will land in some American city but should really be here, whether it's the Olympics in the future or going after some of the big events that can bring us together, just as we saw in 1984. And knowing that we're not going to win every competition, but to use a kind of a baseball metaphor, we haven't been able to strike out, let alone get a hit or a home run, because we haven't even been in the batter's box for so many of these things. Where MTA fits into this is I think finally we've gone to this from this kind of afterthought, a place that got no federal funds compared to our cities. We were funding New York's great transit programs and Boston's and Washington's, but we weren't returning those tax dollars here. We've gone from being kind of an afterthought to really Exhibit A. When you go to Washington, they're like, we got some more money. Do you have a program we can put it into? And if we can keep that sort of innovation up, people will know LA is the place that they have to visit, that they need to invest in, and those lucky enough to live here will say, I want to stay.
And so going back to your baseball metaphor, so you're going to try and push it to get us up to the plate.
Absolutely. And, and that doesn't mean that we won't sometimes strike out, but it'll be great to be able to have the opportunities to get those singles, those doubles, those triples, occasionally even a home run. And, I think if we take the entire city and build it out with transit, first mile, last mile, people can get there on a bike, walk, a car, park, and be part of a great transit system, then that's a grand slam. I'm
all about the home run of the grand slam, because if you don't have to run the bases, it makes it a whole lot easier.
There you go.
Anything else you'd want to add?
No, I think this is a great moment. To folks that are out there, one last thing, this is going to be a tough decade. We're going to be doing a lot of building. That has a real impact on communities, but it's worth that investment. It's worth that time for all of us to know that with a little sacrifice up front, whether that's financial, whether it's in the construction program itself, whether it's in thinking, how can I sacrifice a car trip or two and maybe get on transit, those investments will be so worth it, because we will have this great city that really writes a brand new chapter of not just being a big city, but a great city once again.
Thanks to a successful partnership between Bob Hope Airport, Metrolink, and of course Metro, the new regional Intermodal Transportation Center is now up and running, and getting to and from the Burbank Airport has never been easier. Bus stops on the ground floor of the transit center are now significantly closer to the terminal, a major convenience for patrons pulling heavy luggage. And Metro is soon to build an elevated pedestrian walkway to greatly enhance passenger safety and accessibility.
Metro's commitment to passenger safety is proven once again in the form of new video monitors to be retrofitted on select Metro buses and pre-installed on new buses that will be joining the fleet in upcoming months. Security cameras have always been installed on Metro buses, but now with monitors placed in plain sight of the passengers, Metro hopes that troublesome behavior will be discouraged by reminding patrons that they are indeed being watched.
Summer may be coming to a close, but this is SoCal, and that means the weather stays beautiful all year round.
Yes, and lucky for me, that means more beach and more biking.
And rollerblading too, don't forget that.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of beach and biking and rollerblading, have you ever ridden your bike in Long Beach?
For all the times that I've been to Long Beach, I can't say that I have.
Well, then you're in for a real treat as reporter Mike Ryan takes his bike on the Blue Line and shows us what one of the nation's most bicycle-friendly cities is all about.
For much of Los Angeles, Long Beach might seem like a world away, but thanks to Metro's Blue Line, you can get to the LBC carefree and car-free. Long Beach has so much to offer, but if you're not familiar with the lay of the land, the best way to get a handle on things is to visit to the bike station, located in the downtown area.
The main function of this facility is a bicycle parking facility. We do repairs
We do rentals. Also, one of the best things about this is it's right next to the Blue Line. Blue Line runs right in front of our facility. We have one stop on the west corner and one stop on the east corner, so you can get it any way you go. The city of Long Beach has made tons of improvements for bicycle riders throughout the city. One of the main contributions is their bike routes along Broadway and 3rd Street. They actually put in separated bike lanes, and they're one-way streets. So there's a bike lane on one side of the street with a lane in between the bike lane and the actual car lanes. You know, it just creates a safer environment for people to be able to ride their bikes. Down 2nd Street, they've included share roads. They take the entire right side of the road and paint a giant green strip down it with bicycle markers all the way down so that people are more aware visually that is somewhere that bicycles are allowed to be.
Improvements to the biking infrastructure can be seen citywide all the way down to these bike racks. Being bike-friendly is an artistic expression with a variety of different places to lock your bike up, like this old-timey bicycle. The City Bike Station offers riders a complimentary map with a number of different routes to choose from.
The most popular route we usually suggest people going on a leisurely ride is the beach path. It runs right along the sand on the coastline. It runs about 3.5 miles either way. That's usually the route that we suggest to people renting bikes. We have beach cruisers, so it's an easier ride. It runs to the end of the Belmont Shore area on 2nd Street, and you can bring it back to the downtown area. Along that same line, you can also connect to the LA River Trail. That line is more for a serious rider who wants to get in some miles on maybe a road bike. You can go 30+ miles on that route depending on which way you take. It branches off in different sections.
Experience the Queen Mary, Shoreline Village, Rainbow Harbor, the Long Beach Marina, the Belmont Shore, or maybe just a hot dog on the promenade. There are a million things to see and do, and are just a bike ride away. Whether it's fun in the sun or a serious workout, the river and beach trail have something to offer for every rider, as do the other routes in and around town. Check it out for yourself online.
Well, you can find all of our information on bikestation.com. Our website will lay everything out.
It's official, Metro fares have increased. As of September 15th, regular one-way fares rose from $1.50 to $1.75, and day passes increased from $5 to $7. The fare increase also brings with it a new free transfer program that will benefit tens of thousands of Metro riders. For patrons with tap cards, the free transfers are valid for a 2-hour period while traveling in one direction. For example, a patron heading from Long Beach to Union Station needs to take 2 trains, the Blue Line and the Red Line. Previously, this trek would require 2 fares, one for each line, costing a total of $3. Thanks to the new free transfer system, this trek now only requires 1 base fare of $1.75, a small savings that can add up to hundreds of dollars over the course of a year. For more information on the new fare schedule, including subsidies for low-income riders, visit metro.net/riding/fares.
As reported in our last show, Metro has received agreements for over $2 billion in federal grants and low-interest loans for the Purple Line Extension Project, taking the line from its current terminus at Wilshire and Western all the way to the UCLA Westwood area. Metro has now selected a contractor for the project and is actively seeking opportunities to shorten the expected project completion time, currently set to 2036.
Well, it's been a fun ride, but once again, we've reached the end of the line.
But before we go, we have an announcement to make. And boy, did we save the best for last.
As of this year, Metro Motion is now an Emmy Award winning program.
The honor was granted at the 66th Los Angeles Area Emmy Awards, and I, for one, couldn't be more proud.
Hear, hear. The collaborative efforts of Metro and Santa Monica City TV 16 have paid off in a very big way.
Thanks so much to our viewers for their support over the years, and a big congratulations to the entire Metro Motion team.
And with that, we'll sign off with some cool jazz at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center in Leimert Park. Thanks for watching, everyone.